Hey, happy Monday, everyone. Welcome to ModGolf Live. I am Colin Weston, your host. And today we are going to be celebrating women in golf, which we've done with the ModGolf podcast since we launched way back in 2017. I always do my best to present and create a platform and a spotlight to give to awesome women that are shaping not only the game of golf, but also the industry. And today I'm excited for this one because someone on I consider a very good friend, someone that has been with the Mod Golf podcast since day one, episode 4 of season 1, back in the day when I didn't even really know how to make a podcast. And I was introduced to this amazing woman, and that is Elisa Gaudet, who we've had on the podcast several times. And actually, it was year 2 of Women's Golf Day that was starting up, and that was back in the first week of June, and that was 2017. And really excited for them because they are celebrating the 10th anniversary of Women's Golf Day, which is now blossomed into Women's Golf Week and all the other great things that Elisa is going to share with us here today. But before we get going, I'm going to do my usual Monday thing here, and that is my Monday morning musings, things that have gone on in the golf world or just life since we've last got together. And that was with our last show last week with our good friend Ian Peterson, who is the founder of Dialed In Golf Solutions. Had a great conversation with Ian, also a former guest. So one of the great things I love about Mod Golf, yeah, I do it because I'm involved in the golf industry in many other ways. So it's my business, but also I now, with over 200 episodes, I've got to say, I would say at least 50 of those people, if not more, Ian and Elisa included in that group, I considered good friends. And if I didn't have this platform creating Mod Golf, that I would have never had the opportunity or the reason to meet them and reach out to them. So that's one of the reasons people ask me why I do what I do. And that is one of the impactful reasons for me to connect and help create community. And we're going to be doing that today. So as part of my musings on Monday, part of what I'm going to talk about, I need to slow down first of all here, just a little disclaimer. I'm not going to show you this because it's kind of gross. I actually bit my tongue really badly while eating breakfast 2 days ago. Couldn't even talk. It's so painful. I took a chunk out of my tongue. It's just kind of nasty. But here I am. I'm actually able to talk. So we're joining you here today. So hopefully I'll be able to lean on Elisa when she gets on here to do most of the talking today, to share with us all the great updates with Women's Golf Day and what they're doing the first week in June and beyond. But one thing I want to share here, we just had International Women's Day a couple of weeks ago, a couple Saturdays ago, and it gave me the opportunity to share. I couldn't all of them because there's been over 50 women that have joined me on the Mod Golf podcast so far. So I did manage to share some of those episodes and these amazing, resilient, impactful women that are doing great things in the golf industry. And one I wanted to talk about is actually going to be on the show next week. I just recorded this one, and this is with Gina Phillips. And I met Gina on here. I'll get it over here. I met Gina a couple of weeks ago during a golf industry seminar for journalists talking about the media, and she's heavily involved in the media. They're going to pull her off there again. And with Gina and what we would do there, and we recorded our episode, she's doing some amazing things. She actually has a background in broadcasting, was the co-host of Score Golf TV for a couple of years, and also, yeah, is a comedian and has worked in improv. So all the good things that she brings from improv and acting into the golf industry, into her golf game, and how she's growing the game. And a little spoiler, she's actually writing a sitcom revolving around a family going back to the golf course that they've owned for generations that's completely dilapidated, and how that is then being resurrected. That's all I'm going to tell you about that. It's going to be excited. Very early for Gina for that. She's still shopping that one around, but hopefully that becomes a show, because there's never been, we talked about this, never been a sitcom revolving around golf. So we need this to happen. Needed to happen. Okay, the other couple of people I want to talk about too, previous episodes with Petra Himmel, the impactful work she's doing on the sustainability side in the golf industry. She's also a golf journalist out of Germany, and we had a great conversation a couple of months ago. So I encourage you all to go back and listen to that one, and also watch that on the YouTube channel, because she is amazing. And the other one I wanted to talk about too, I met this young woman who is the head professional and director of golf at Konanike Golf and Ocean Club on the Big Island in Hawaii, and just that conversation with Leua and how she is now, managed to get to where she is in the golf industry, and the really positive, impactful story there. So all these great stories that I've had the privilege and the honor of being part of around women's journeys in golf, entrepreneurship, and the game. And as I said, today is no exception. And now's the time I'm going to bring her on, and here she is. And there we go. We're going to add her to the stage. There we go. Elisa, and you're showing some entrepreneurial hustle. You're taking this from the Starbucks parking lot in your car because your poor puppy had a bit of a health emergency today. So you're doing your best, but you didn't cancel on me.
I know you thought, yeah.
So
thought it was carpool karaoke. No karaoke.
No, you're not going to sing? Oh, come on.
No. Trust me, I'm better at the business side of golf than singing.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I will give you that. Okay, so listen. So I have some numbers here that I'm just going to put out that I've seen with how you've grown and scaled over the last couple of years. I'm going to let you talk to this, but I've seen now last year, so in 2024, you had over 1,300 worldwide event locations for Women's Golf Week, even though you're still branded as Women's Golf Day. And that was, I believe, in over 84 countries of the 195 in the world. So almost half of the countries in the world participating. But one thing I've noticed, I did the math. I saw in Canada here, where I am, there's over 2,300 golf courses and over 15,000 in the US. We're talking about 19,000 golf courses, 38,000 worldwide. So right now, and that's not even including driving ranges and other golf-related facilities. So right now, you're only activating on, even though it's amazing, less than 4% of the golf courses and golf facilities around the world. So there's so much room for you and Women's Golf Day to grow. So before we get into that, and we encourage golf course owners or even people that play at courses to actually be that grassroots to then have a Women's Golf Day event in June at their course, or even if it's the muni in wherever they live. Why don't you start from the beginning? Why don't you let everybody know, if they're not familiar with Women's Golf Day, what you do and why you do it?
Sure. Thanks. First of all, thank you very much for having me on and giving us a platform to share what it is that we do. And I think the benefit not only to the consumer, but to the golf courses, to our industry. So Women's Golf Day is a 1-day, 4-hour experience for women and girls. And the first 2 hours, women who know how to play golf will play a 9-hole shotgun scramble or 9-hole golf, going to be done in 2 hours. So, and then women that are new to golf would take lessons. So, an hour on the driving range, an hour chipping and putting. And then the second 2 hours is socializing. So the golf courses actually register with us. We give them all the materials, digital marketing kit. They're listed on our website, which is a global map, so people can find them. As well, all year long, there's a page that talks about that golf course, things that happen all year long. They put it in. So they're going to execute that event, and they're going to decide if it's public or private, if they want to charge a fee or not. There's no reason why they can't make money and shouldn't make money. So that's the concept of it, and that's how it works. And so these golf courses are with us. It started out as the first Tuesday in June when we started in 2016.
Yes.
And now it's a week long. And in that week long, that really just means that the golf course can host it anytime within that week. They're not doing a week of events.
Right.
They're welcome to do more than one day, but more than likely it's just to give people more flexibility than just a Tuesday, which I am proud to say that we had an event. We started this signature series. I don't want to digress, but we had an event for International Women's Day. And I said to the women, just happened to fall on a Saturday, because International Women's Day is is March 8th. So no matter what day that falls on. Right. And it was a Saturday, and we did our event at 9 a.m. And I said, oh my gosh, look how far we've come, hosting an event at a golf course on a Saturday morning. That does not happen. We started, we were told that Tuesday morning would be a great day, so, the industry has changed a lot in 10 years, believe it or not. Like, I have seen certain things now that are a lot different. And so ours has grown. We have 1,350 locations that have hosted. Not all of them do it. I'm going to say 600 to 800 or 900. It varies every year. We would love to have more golf courses anywhere, but particularly Canada and the US and the UK, to have more golf courses hosting the event. There's no reason why they wouldn't. And to have more is very simple formula. More golf courses equals more women playing. And
Nice.
women should go and ask their golf course to have it. I mean, it's a nominal fee. We give them everything. It's very turnkey and very easy to do.
Nice. Well, why don't we do this? I'll pull up your website. There we go. Okay, so now you've been talking about it. So let's walk through this. So once again, we've got the majority still of golf courses and facilities, that this great inventory that we're looking to unlock a little more every single year. So yeah, let's walk through this again. I'll walk through the website. You can kind of I'll navigate through it, but you tell me where to go and to start and what to click on, so you can kind of see how easy it is to register your location up here, or even find a location for one that's already registered. So why don't you walk us through this, and I'll just navigate for you.
Yeah, the other thing, I don't know, if you click on this, they're going to get a video. I don't know if it'll come, but I think it's like a minute or minute and a half. That might get it in a snapshot. On that.
Hopefully we can hear that. Let's go.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go. We'll screen it. So that hopefully gives people, oh yeah, it's still ending, but that gives people a snapshot. I think, those are all pictures from real events. We tell everybody we're red and white. We can see very easily that, the club's got the memo.
Yes.
And, you can see it's a diverse representation of women all around. So shapes and sizes and colors and ethnicities, which we're very proud of. So, everybody is invited. We love it when we see this kind of diversity and inclusion. And, we, as we put it there, engage, empower, and support. So that gives a snapshot. And like I said, the main thing is that golf courses can go on and register. There's a registration button at the top. They can do that on their own, but there's a lot of resources for women. I think, most importantly is probably, females or males, anybody who wants to share. Is on the top, we have a Palooza, which is a digital day. We started during COVID, and it continued on because it was very popular. So people want to go back and watch that. How the golf ball is done. Every year it has a theme. Last year was Get Social on and off the course. We've had, all of it's on YouTube as well, so they can go through that. We are supported by the RNA, the USGA, and the PGA of America. So if you're looking to get a handicap and learn how to do that, or next steps, we have a resource page that will help you do that. On the top, I think you see it, resources, and it talks about each one of those entities looking for jobs, people that are the PGA of America or the RNA, or any of these that have. Yeah, this is what you're going through right now is our YouTube. So during COVID, we got a lot of videos that different things that, are of interest to people. So like you're putting, whether it's travel or entrepreneurship, but I think even the tabs like the RNA, for example, which I know Canada is under the RNA. So how to get a handicap and some of their programming, rules of golf. These are all things that you're starting, or even if you need a refresher or looking for. I mean, what we try to do is have Women's Golf Day be a resource. Right. It's very fragmented. There's information everywhere. Where do you go? Here's an event calendar for all of, not just the women's events, all events that the RNA hosts, the same as the USGA, the PGA of America, and Women in Golf Charter, which is an amazing initiative that the RNA started in 2018. So, and that's also helping to bring more women into the industry in a business capacity. So with everything from a greenskeeper, to working in the offices of some of these organizations or in golf facilities. So hopefully that, helps people as well. We have amazing travel. We just partnered with Golf Breaks. So they have an office in the UK as well as in the US.
Okay.
And they do amazing trips, but not just trips. I think what you'll see as well, what we try to do is listen to what people want. So maybe you want to go on a vacation with your spouse, with your friends, a group, what have you, or you want to go experience a tournament, whether it's a Ryder Cup or a US Open or AIG Women's Open, Solheim. All of that is, you have an opportunity to do those kind of trips. As well as, other things where you're engaging more than just, picking a trip on your own.
Nice. One thing I did want to mention here, because I've just put this in the chat on our YouTube channel here, the fact this is live and interactive. We got a few people that have joined us here live. I know a lot of people will watch this afterwards, but we want to make this interactive. This is why I love doing ModGolf Live, the fact it is live. So a couple of people that have joined us, don't be shy. If you have any questions for Elisa about Women's Golf Day, type it. We'll bring it up on screen here and we'll ask it. So yeah, I can ask questions all day here because that's what I do and I love to do. So I'd love to hear from you though. So once again, let's make this live and interactive. If you have any questions for about women's golf, and believe me that Elisa is at the forefront. She's been at this for over a decade and even before founding Women's Golf Day and just being at the forefront of this. So if you want a resource for empowering, encouraging, elevating women in golf, we've got the women right here to do it. So ask away. Okay, so one thing I do want to pull up here also, if I can find it here, because I am being the executive producer while being the host here, kind of doing both at once there. So yeah, once again, there is the website. So nice and simple, womensgolfday.com if you want to have a look at these resources. And once again, I really strongly encourage all golf course operators and owners out there, if you have not hosted a Women's Golf Day event, there's no downside. Everybody wins. It's an amazing experience. And I had the pleasure, I think it was just before COVID, it was either 2019 or 2018. I'll have to have a look. I attended, Elisa, a Women's Golf Day event here in Vancouver, and it was amazing. And the fashion show afterwards, the Nine and Dine and Wine afterwards, I have to say, I think the women all had more fun off the golf course than they did afterwards. And I'll have to say, I think I was the only guy there, and they were making me blush the way they were just having a good time and letting their hair down. It was quite something.
Yeah, I mean that's what we help with. I mean, it is. I've read a lot of data before I even started this, and there is a definite difference between women and men and how they engage. A lot of times, if you ask a gentleman, how'd you play after a round, he's going to give you his score. Right. Whereas a woman is more inclined to say, I had a really good time, I had some great laughs with a friend. It's more about the experience will resonate more than necessarily a score. And I think our thing is whether you are looking to lower your handicap or get a, competitive, do league play, or just get into the game, use it for business, use it for friendships or get fresh air. That's the thing. There is no set rule. I think there's a lot of mystique around what is golf, and it's only for old white gentlemen, and that if you're doing business, only certain people can do business in golf. And I'm like, nobody is going to the golf course with a contract rolled up in their golf bag.
Right.
The reason why they're getting the business is because they're spending quality time with that person. And golf is still one of those frontiers where you're not going to necessarily, even if people do have cell phones, it's not going to be ringing. It's usually turned on silent. There's not even a waitress interrupting you. So if you went to a restaurant or, there's no other interaction except for you, the golf course, nature, in a golf cart or walking and doing it. So you're getting to know a person on a very different level that is unique, because there's you play pickleball or tennis or anything else. It's just moving quickly and you don't have that same time to engage and learn about the person, which is why they always say, you can learn a lot about somebody's character by playing golf with them. I think that's it. And I want women to understand that that's what that is. That's why they're making the business deals, is because they're building the relationships. So I think our goal is to create more opportunities for women to go to golf courses, to go to places. We're bringing the horse to water. It's up to the golf courses, the industry, and people to continue on. We don't have a continuing education.
Right.
We're creating this global rah-rah, by critical mass and doing it at one time. And, we had this year, we doubled. When I look at that video, I know that our impressions on social media this year were 406.9 million.
Wow.
So that is, what I like to say is really eradicating that fragmentation, bringing everybody together for this 1 week, giving them an opportunity, golf courses, to highlight what they can do. And again, women have a lot of economic power by themselves and within the family unit. I don't know how many single guys are buying houses on a golf course, or, children going into sports. A lot of times it's still, if they're not the actual decision maker, they're highly influencing those decisions.
Absolutely.
So whether it's purchasing property, joining a country club, putting your children into a golf program, going on a golf vacation, almost anything, how you spend your leisure time, there's an impact. So I always say it's like a 2-for-1. If you get the female and they have a family, you have a higher probability of getting children.
Yes. Yeah. So I wanted to ask you this. I've had you been at this for 10 years now and you keep scaling, and I'm just so proud of everything that you've done, because it has not been easy. This has been, you've been pushing this rock with your small but mighty team for a decade now. It's amazing, because as we know, most startups and entrepreneurs, founders, 90% of them after a couple of years, whatever they're doing, whether it's something like you're doing or whether it's a product and everything in between, only 10% of them are still doing it. So the fact that you've managed not only to keep going, but some things have worked and some things have not. You've kind of done more of this and added things on as you go, and also the power of partnerships. So I wanted you to talk about some of the partners, but what I'm going to pull up here, I know one of us smaller partners compared to some of the bigger ones you're going to talk about that are helping to propel you forward. But this is a good friend of ours and friend of the show, Lydia Davies, and the awesome work that she's doing with Osprey and empowering women in sport and entertainment primarily. And I just saw this when I was going through your feed that you're collaborating with a Birdies and Bubbles event on April 17th, coming up in a little more than a month. So talk to us about the partnerships with people that you have, like our amazing friends like Lydia Davies with Osprey, and some of the bigger ones that you have with the PGA of America and others.
Yeah, so we are always going to try to promote as many people, as many like-minded people. Everybody has their form of how they're doing golf, and our main thing is to not make it intimidating. So everybody does, like I said, their own way, and they're welcome to do whatever they want to do. But we're not going to, we're going to make sure that everybody feels welcome, no matter what size you are. You don't have to be, the sexiest girl on the golf course or the best golfer on the golf course. We want to make sure that everybody's represented and feels welcome. So we're going to partner with people, all kinds of different people. We take our cues. It isn't just like we partner with the PGA or the RNA or the USGA and then thank you. No, we're actively have conversations every year to see what are the initiatives that are important to them. And we try to amplify that with our voice and getting to consumers and what have you. And just like we have with our Palooza. So last year was Get Social on and off the course, because we know that social media plays a big role, especially for women golfers and wannabe golfers, that they're highly influenced by that, highlight that. This year it's Bring a Friend, which is something we've had, but on the 10th year, we really feel like this is a great way to get somebody in. So with that, we are friends, and Lydia is a wonderful woman. I'm going to be there speaking at her conference. So we're going to always try to do the best that we can to support other events that are throughout the year, because we really only talk about ourselves. We're kind of more of a B2B. We are getting golf courses, getting organizations talking, but the rest of the time we're trying to, whether it's our social media feed, we are talking about things that are going on in golf. And it's not necessarily all women's. We're very much congratulating Rory McIlroy on St. Patrick's Day for his second Players win. I was there on Wednesday and Thursday.
Yes.
So it was great. I mean, you can't even script that one any better. That it ends up going to the next day to St. Patrick's Day, and the Irishman wins it in the playoff. So all that kind of goes, those are exciting stories. So even though, it'd be great if we didn't need a women's golf day, you know what I mean? Like, we also have on the URL, Women Golf Daily. So that's our goal, to get to Women Golf Daily.
Nice.
So, because somewhere around the world, there is a woman golfing daily. So that is a good thing, at least, right?
Yes.
So, we're going to partner. We're going to bring out the initiatives, people looking for jobs, what kind of job opportunities there are with a PGA of America or USGA, or the USGA launched a program for now elite athletes to get them more ready for Olympic ready, and like having a USA team. And what a phenomenal, hats off to Mike Land for, and people that are like, that we hadn't had that before. You think about it, as proud of a country, as athletic of a country as we are. So it's really great to see these initiatives, and the more that we can get them out to a broader public, because a lot of times on social media, people are following things that just, if you're already a golfer. So we try to keep our content also light, fun, feel good, like People Magazine or Ola Magazine in Spain or something like that, so that we're going to invite you to come in and fun, easygoing stuff, not too intense. There's so many great, wonderful magazines, partners, instructors out there that can give you, instruction and other more in-depth look at the competitive golf world and any type of really deeper dive into golf. And again, we recommend those as well, but I think we're the entry level, the feeder market.
you are. You're the gateway, that first step. Well,
We're
you
the
touched on an
gateway
interesting
drug.
point that I was going to expand on, and that was, I was going to ask you this question, so I'm glad you went there. With golf, like a lot of other industries, whether it's, I'm involved in sustainable design and I'm involved in entrepreneurship, but quite often it seems like you're preaching to the choir. It's the people. It isn't an echo chamber, but it's already the people that are already there and are already bought into it. So I was going to ask you this, and you started to touch on it. How do you get outside of that, even though golf is $100 billion a year industry, but how do you get into rather than being in the, let's say, use the analogy of being in the back page of the sports or the business section of the newspaper? It's an old analogy I'm using here, but how do you get on the front page? How do you get it so everybody reads it rather than just the golfer? So it sounds like you're doing that already, and it sounds like the Invite a Friend initiative this year is going to help amplify that. So it sounds like that's something you're being very, very mindful and deliberate about, as far as realizing, hey, we need to actually reach to all those non-golfers, those people that have never picked up a golf club before, and make them feel welcome and invited and less intimidating. So can you expand on that a little bit of how you're going to activate that over the next year and beyond?
Yeah, absolutely. And we've always had this hashtag Bring a Friend, but this year we're bringing it to the forefront. So we will probably, on our Palooza, which is always the first day, it's the last Tuesday in May, because our events always run the last Tuesday in May to the first Tuesday in June.
Right.
So that kicks off still that we have a digital day. So that will kick off. So we will have videos from our partners and sponsors throughout the day and a digital activation. So I'm sure we're going to find some great stories about whether it's men or women that have brought a friend to the game of golf, or, got their best friend to finally play golf or something like that. So I think that's one way. Obviously, making it as inviting and easy, not intimidating, as I mentioned earlier, is another way that we always try to do continuously. I think also finding and a lot of these organizations, is why I say we all work in tandem, is so whether it's the RNA or the USGA or the PGA of America, the RNA now is a focus on health And I know we have done it through the golf industry in the States as well as Canada. So now if you're going to look at the health benefits of being out on a golf course for 4 hours and fresh air and being with friends and reducing your cholesterol and how many steps you do if you are walking the course or if you're in a cart. And so then we'll take a health angle. So now all of a sudden you can open it up to health publications, health magazines, anything online. And then if we want to talk, we talk briefly about business. Why is this good for business? How can you get into it? How can you use it for business? So each one of those that has a certain vertical where we know we can touch people or people may be interested, even if we get a few little people from each of those that we know that this is important for them, and just kind of like cross-pollinate, I guess. And as well with our partners, like I said too, they let us know whether it's Golf Town in Canada or PGA Tour Superstore and some of the retail organizations, where it's very easy for somebody to walk in and if you're intimidated, to at least go see what's going on. What's this thing about golf?
Nice. I was trying to pull up the picture to put up here to amplify what you just said about that power of invitation. I couldn't quite find it though, but this was, I guess, about 3 years ago that in my mother-in-law, sadly she passed away last year at 86, who had her first and only hole-in-one at 82 years old, Helen
Wow.
O'Connor. Love that lady. And I played golf with her a couple of times. And she played at an executive course that held a women's golf day event. And my wife, who's very athletic, does not golf. And also her sister-in-law, who's athletic, doesn't golf also. So the three of us and Helen all played the women golf day event. So the 9 holes, and a wonderful time. And now my wife and my sister-in-law don't play golf yet. And I know it's because of that power of invitation. If they had a friend that played golf already and they invited them, even if it was out for playing, let's say, a par 3 pitch and putt or whatever that would be, it would be that gateway rather than playing with me. Maybe she's already spending too much time with me. Maybe she's really telling me something there. But ultimately, I see that firsthand. She's very social, very athletic, and loves the outdoors, but just hasn't had that opportunity, that connectivity. And with her mom, it just didn't work out timing wise for her to play with her on a regular basis. So I see that firsthand, that there's so many millions of women out there that are just poised and ready for their first positive golf experience. They just need that invitation to be invited by someone.
Yeah, but I'm going to negate that a little bit because you don't need an invitation.
No.
You just need a resource. So you may need a buddy more than you need an invitation. So if it's 2 women and they've never been, I know it's intimidating to go on your own, but if you got another person that you thought, another friend that was, interested in trying it, this format is so easy and so social because you're just going to take the lesson. You're going to see right there. Now, this is what the game changer was, because you and I and 6 other people are all new to pickleball. Nobody knows what's going on, or tennis. We're not like, let's go to Wimbledon. Mixing the new and existing golfers, that's why it's really good if they do the social part after the golf.
Right.
So that they can talk and get comfortable and say, listen, you can come sub if you haven't played in a while. Or
right.
So I think they just need a person. Don't think that you need an invitation. It does help, obviously, if you do, but don't let that ever hold you back. Just find a friend and find a facility, or, I don't wait for Women's Golf Day, quite honestly. Go with a friend and say, hey, go to a pro. You can split the cost of a lesson and take a 1-hour lesson and see if it's something that you like. One-on-one with a PGA or with a professional. And you can do that at a driving range. You can do that at a Top Golf. You can do it at a Golf Town, PGA Tour Superstore. You don't even have to go to a golf course. You can be driving in. You don't even have to have golf clothes on. Throw on a pair of flat shoes or sneakers, some movable clothing, and you can stop in a store. You can stop in a driving range anywhere. Okay, what's everybody talking about? I think you will surprise yourself, or just go in and hit some putts. But I want people to think like you can go any which way. You can go try it and just see. It's not as intimidating as you think. I promise. I think the friendships, the story that you just told me, especially now that your mother-in-law passed, like that is it. They have that memory. You all have that memory.
Yes.
Of something that she loved that at least you all got to do together. And
We
that
do.
is the power. And it's multi-generational because we have a handicap system, and because you can have a grandmother playing with a granddaughter playing with a daughter. You have 3 generations playing, and nobody's impacted where they're so held back or what have you. And I think that's the main thing. As our lives get crazier, I think I would love if the industry would make it a lot more welcoming and easy for people to play 9 holes, because nobody has time for 18. Very few people, unless you're making a living off of golf or you're retired or independently wealthy. It's really hard to play frequently 18 holes, have that
It is.
time.
Now, I don't know. You talk about 9 holes, so this is interesting. And I've met them at the PGA show. I've had them on the podcast and ModGolf Live, and that is the founder of Spark Golf. I don't know if you're familiar with the leagues that they've set up, and they've really blown up all over North America, thousands of leagues, and it's 9 holes during the week, and it has that. It can be competitive, but it's also social and fun, and it
Yep.
has that limited easy entry, small commitment of 9 holes. So it's not that expensive and it doesn't take that much time. It's after work for people that are still working regular 9 to 5. So you can make your way out there. So I don't know if you've already got a collaboration with what's going on with Charlie Klaus and the founder of Spark Golf. If not, I got to make that introduction, because in my mind, I think there's a perfect fit there to kind of turbocharge what they're doing, and with some type of a collaboration with Women's Golf Day or
Yeah.
Women's Golf Daily.
And we've, like, it's funny. I live in West Palm. It's gorgeous almost all year long. And I just started playing frequently because a new golf course near me, the park, has a 9-hole league,
Nice.
6 p.m. on Tuesdays. And sure enough, finally, for me, I'm like, it's just, I can't cut out during the middle of the day. It's just a lot, to try to do it. And I think, we're multi-dynamic people. I want to do more than, when you work in golf, you know what I mean? I want to do more than just play golf on the weekends.
Yeah.
Like do some other social things. So that's why I feel like it's even more important. I've noticed that I have people that I really like and close friends or family that if they play, then I'm more inclined to play.
Yeah, love that. Love that. Okay, hey, to finish up here, once again, I am going to bring up here we go. So as far as your website there, so why don't we finish up here, Elisa? Once again, we did this early on this year rather than the first time we met. I just met you when we had to scramble, so we needed to make sure that we had this released back in 2017, a couple of days before Women's Golf Day, I think on June 4th or 5th that year, because otherwise why are we going to do it? But now we've got some time. So we were intentional here because we're going to promote this afterwards, and we want to encourage facilities to get on board. So once again, we just double down and reiterate that. I'll leave that to you to encourage golf course owners and operators of people that are part of a course to bring a Women's Golf Day event during that first week of June.
Super simple. Just go to the website, look under register a location. That's a start. Women, men, anybody as well. You can bring this to your golf pro or your golf facility and ask them about doing it. That's another thing. As well, on our website, I encourage everybody to follow us on social media. There's lots of fun content, ways to get involved throughout the year, not just with us, like you mentioned, where there's different events, things to go, travel. We also have something called WGD Connect. It's something that's going to take time to build. And I guess it's kind of like a Facebook. Doesn't have a lot of things. It just helps golfers find one another. And you can see if they're male or female. You can go there to find a friend, find romance, do whatever you want. We like just connecting people, which is what we try to do. What you do an excellent job of as well is, that's what we're all trying to do, is create community. Yep, WGD Connect. Colin, if you don't have a profile, you should absolutely, you can find out who's in your area.
I will do that once we finish up here. I promise you, I will.
And, I think this is a great, this is growing, with time. But, and resources, reach out to us if you need some resources, and hopefully we can help as many people as we can and get more people golfing. It helps all of us, grows the game, and it's a good thing for everybody. Keeps people healthy, happy.
Love this. Everybody wins.
Everybody
I'm
wins.
excited to see where things go this year. I'll see if there's an event here, perhaps. Well, actually, you know what? I'm going to be away. I'm going to be in middle of May, I'm going to be in Ireland, then in Scotland. I'm speaking at a golf business technology conference. Who knows? Maybe I'll see what's going on. Actually, on that day, I'll be in Toronto, so perhaps I'll connect with some of my women friends in Toronto that golf and attend a women's golf day event in Toronto. And perhaps
That'd be amazing.
not perhaps,
yeah.
I will definitely, as I do, I'll create some content around that, and of course support you the best way that I can.
Yeah, we'll have to see exactly where you're going to be that week, and we'll find some places.
Awesome. Love that. All right. Well, hey, you're in your car. Thankfully, we didn't lose your Wi-Fi connection from the parking lot at Starbucks there. I hope your dog gets well. I hope it's okay.
Thanks.
Hope your dog's okay. What's your dog's name?
Coco.
Coco. We're sending prayers and love to Coco here for a quick recovery. Hopefully that's not too expensive for you today, because I know that those bills can run up pretty quick with your vet bills. So we'll leave it at that. So again, Elisa Gaudet, our good friend of the show, has been with us so long for the last 8 years or so, founder of Women's Golf Day. Love what you're doing, my friend. And thanks for your support of ModGolf over the years, too.
Right back at you, Colin. You do an incredible job. And I thank you for amplifying my story as well as so many other people. And what you do matters. And what you do is more impactful than you probably even realize. And I want to
I appreciate those kind words. All right, my friend. You take care. I'll see you soon. Bye for now.
Bye.